She hugged him back with one arm as she tucked down the hem of her Bart Simpson tee where it rode up under his exuberant embrace. "Watch it," she murmured in his ear. "You don't want that girlfriend getting jealous." Behind her, Willa chuckled. "You're ex-lovers with stupid hot chemistry. Of course Becca's jealous." Tony either didn't hear or chose to ignore Willa's remark. "She knows we're best friends." He squeezed her tighter, then let her go. "Also, Becca and I just broke up," he added, expression only mildly sheepish. "Of course." Kayla did her best to look surprised, but knew she was fooling no one, especially not Tony, who flashed her a self-deprecating smile and ruffled her hair. She gave him a shove and turned to watch Becca head for the door. Kayla caught the woman's eye and offered a sympathetic wave, then made the universal gesture for lifting a glass. Might as well share the fireball. "Want a drink?" Kayla mouthed to Becca across the crowded bar. It was the least she could do. Becca waved back, then shook her head. "Uber," she mouthed. With one quick glance at Tony, the man's newest ex smiled and walked out the door. So that was that. "Seriously, Kay, congratulations." Willa lifted her drink to clink it against hers, and Kayla raised her fresh glass of water. "I'm so proud of you with this book contract." "Pretty damn cool," Grady added. "You get to pick the forests?" Kayla nodded, chest swelling with pride. "Any place there's been a fire is fair game. They gave me complete creative freedom to photograph anything I feel tells the story of wildfire across the West." Tony grinned and slung an arm around her. "Damn good excuse for a road trip." Willa quirked an eyebrow at her. "You're not still talking about traveling together, are you?" Kayla shrugged and glanced at Tony. "It's on the table. Tony knows Old Forest fire sites better than anyone, and it'd be nice to have the company." "I do love road trips." He tipped his head back to chug his beer, missing the look Willa and Grady exchanged. A look that said, "These guys are nuts." She'd heard it already, though Kayla didn't share their concern. Maybe most people couldn't handle road tripping with an ex, but they weren't like that. She and Tony were best buds. Who even remembered that hot minute they used to date? "Oh, it's our song." Willa smiled up at her husband. "Did you do this?" He winked and slid an arm around her. "There's an upside to knowing the guy running the sound system." As Willa and Grady shimmied toward the dance floor, Kayla turned back to Tony as he finished ordering a beer. That was odd, since he seldom drank more than one. Something in his posture seemed tense, so maybe the Becca breakup hadn't gone well. "You doing okay?" "Yeah, sure." He turned with a good-natured shrug. "Not like my relationships ever last long anyway, right?" "Right. Hell, Kayla herself had a history with him, though that was easy to forget sometimes. They'd been friends way longer than their short-lived fling had lasted, and now he was just her best pal, Tony, her concert-going companion, jogging buddy, and occasional jar opener. "Let me guess." Kayla took a sip of water. "The breakup was Becca's idea, and you've agreed to stay friends?" Tony shrugged again. "More or less. What can I say? I suck at relationships, but I make an excellent drinking buddy." Kayla rolled her eyes. "I've rarely seen you have more than one drink." He shrugged and gave her a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "The best drinking buddies double as designated drivers." "Good point." She studied him carefully. "You sure you're okay? You seem a little off. More off than usual for a guy who burned through girlfriends faster than wildfire in a dry forest. Something else on your mind?" He glanced away, and was she imagining a slight tensing of his jaw? "Nah, I'm good." When he turned back, he was smiling again. "Like I said, I'm not cut out for relationships, but it leaves more time to practice for karaoke night, right?" Before she could respond, Tony grabbed his beer and ambled toward the stage and the cluster of musically